Oh my god, I'm so mean. Like, I'm so mean. Hello there. So I haven't recorded in a minute, and I thought, you know what, today I want to do something fun. I want to do something positive. And then I scratched that and decided to record this. So today we're going to be trying out full face of products that do not work for me. Just a disclaimer, if you like any of these, if some of those are your holy grails, it's perfectly fine. Makeup is a very subjective thing. So I'm not trying to be mean to any of these brands or to any of these products or bash you for liking them. I just for some reason didn't get along with them. So let's look at them, let's talk about them, and we will see what this is all about. Yeah, this is not gonna end well. This is just not gonna end well. We're going to start off with a primer. I actually have like a whole section in my notepad just for primers I don't like. This is the NYX Marshmellow Primer. If you remember, this took TikTok by storm some time ago, and I gotta give it to them. The smell is awesome, but this is so bad. Like, this seriously doesn't work for me one bit. I don't mind the texture. It's kind of like whipped and creamy, and I'm like, okay, sure, fine, I can get along with that. But once I'm massaging it in, it's just so weird. It just doesn't want to work with my skin at all. Because if I look at it in my mirror, I look oily, I feel greasy, it's kind of sleepy, my pores look horrible right now. Overall, I just don't see why is it good. Oh yeah, shea butter. Guessing we just figured it out. My skin really doesn't like shea butter. It's too heavy for me. I have very dehydrated skin, and shea butter is just not it. So maybe that is why I really dislike it. All foundations sit so weird on top of it as well. No, I'm sorry. So that's the first product. Now for the foundation, I'm going to take this one. I usually get rid of foundations I do not like right away. And this foundation does have a lot of people that like it. A lot of people. So why am I so weird and I do not like it? I don't understand. Like, I love the packaging. If you read about it, it sounds so cool, right? Like, oh my god, it's like a semi-matte foundation, like skin-like and beautiful, kind of matte, but really pretty and natural. You're like, oh yeah, I need that, right? And then you buy it and you're kind of disappointed, honestly. So this is the KVD True Portrait Foundation. It's a liquid to powder foundation, actually. And I have the shade Light 008. So I'm gonna shake it first. And I'm going to take my little palette. First of all, I don't know if it's because it was on sale, but it's a little gulpy and weird. It just, I don't know. I think it's because it was on sale. Or the other way around, actually. I think it was on sale because it's gulpy and weird. So I'm gonna take my best foundation brush, the IT Cosmetics. That is the foundation brush. And I'm gonna try to apply this once again. I'm just gonna work it in my brush, and we're gonna work in a very thin layer and see if this actually works or not. Like, even the color match is pretty on point. Okay, so fully frankly, it does look a little bit better than the last time I used it, but still, it just sits so weird. Like, I can't figure out why, but it just sits odd. This doesn't feel like liquid to powder at all. It actually feels more like super oily. So maybe, just maybe, I'm thinking that they were selling it out because it's somewhat not great, because the formula just doesn't sit right with me, and it doesn't look bad now, but if I wore it for a couple hours, you would see that it looks like shit, so there's not much nice I can say about it. So let's move on to the concealer. Yeah, this is gonna be such a negative video, damn. So this is the Revolution Eye Bright Illuminating Concealer. Everybody was losing their shit about this because it has this huge sponge. But the thing I hate about it the most is, look at this little window. Do you see where it is? It's like up here. Guess how many times I used it? 4 times. So literally there's like no product in this whatsoever. So I'm just gonna twist a little bit out and use it, but I honestly hate it so much. It doesn't have much coverage. It's a little bit just odd. At one point, I also thought I'm allergic to it because it was stinging my eyes very badly. And I never figured out if it was this product or if it was another product. So we will see today which one was it. It is a little bit brightening, but honestly, it's nothing like groundbreaking that you need to have immediately. Like, sure, it's highlighting a little. Guess why? Because it's light concealer. Yeah, but especially for my under eyes, it's doing nothing. Look at that. Still there. Still there. I mean, on the camera it probably doesn't show, but the texture is horrendous. Yeah, I'm kind of mad I don't have a proper camera because my webcam is not gonna pick this up well. Yeah, but it looks not very good at all, actually. Not very good at all. Alright, now powders. This is probably not gonna be a surprise because I think I mentioned this one already a couple times. But this is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder. Yes, the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder. Everybody keeps fucking raving about for like a decade. I hate it. First of all, it's incredibly messy. You have this like square which has the powder in it in a circle and then it just gets everywhere. And I really don't like it. I do like that it's pigmented and it's very finely melted. That's all very nice. But this is like the driest fucking powder I have ever seen. Okay, I am going to take my little powder brush and set my under eyes. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hate it. So my T-zone is partially set. My under eyes look smoother than they did. It's still pretty bad. So next we're going to go in with a bunch of cream products because I don't really keep any powders I do not enjoy that much. So first we're gonna go in with a bronzer. This is probably one of the products that made me do this video in the first place because I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with you? You were quite expensive. So this is the Iconic London Sheer Bronze. Their iconic packaging. Iconic. And this is, I think, their lightest shade is Beach Vibes. And why do I hate this? Because it's literally invisible. Like, this does nothing for me. Like, nothing. So we're gonna try it out today and see if it does something for me. So I'm just gonna squeeze out a little bit on my little tray here. And I'm going to pick up this Made by Mitchell brush, which is actually very good for liquid bronzer. And I'm just gonna pick it up and try my best. You see that? Like, do you fucking see that? Tell me how. Just tell me how. Okay, we can try a different brush. We can try a finger. So I'm gonna pick it up on my finger. And there is patchy nothing. Oh my god. So, I don't know if you can see, but if you think this is pigment, no. That's my foundation being removed by this fucking liquid disaster of a bronzer. Just look at that. There's nothing. There's literally nothing. You can see everything just going missing. The amount of dislike I have for this bronzer is immeasurable. Like, immeasurable. I don't know what else to try. Like, I tried literally fucking everything. I'm gonna take my Essence Blendiful dupe and we're gonna try it with that. Literally my last shot. Last chance. My god, am I actually seeing pigment? No way. No way. No, still lifting. Still lifting stuff. So that's about it. That's why I fucking hate it so much, because just the formula is absolutely useless. But if you swatch it on your hand, it doesn't even look that bad. You would think, oh, that's pretty, it's glowy, it's wow, it's nice even. It's a lie. It's all just a lie. Like, what the hell? It worked in this one area. Otherwise, it just looks like shit everywhere else. So let's continue with another shitty liquid product. Let me shake it so we give it a fair shot. This is the Revolution Super Dewy Liquid Blush in the shade Fake the Flush, and it's a very similar situation. It's also a water that's gonna take off your makeup, and I am very mad at it. And what I'm even more mad about is that this one doesn't even look that shit. It actually looks quite decent, like it's okay, right? looks kind of thick, pretty good. Let me give it benefit of the doubt with this thing again and see if it actually does anything for us, because I'm just very pessimistic at this point. Like, it looks 100 times better than it did when I applied it before with the brush. Yeah, but it's... even when I'm just dabbing it on, it's just taking off fucking everything. Oh man, I'm just so angry at myself. Why did I do this to myself? It looks bad. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I hate it. I just hate it so much. I'm just gonna take more of that Maybelline powder and powder my face. Also, that powder is fucking everywhere. Complexion is almost done, so let's continue with the highlighter. This one is not as bad as the previous products, but it just doesn't do much for me. This is the Essence Vintage Beach Baked Highlighter with macadamia oil. It's so pretty, but it does nothing. I'm gonna take a clean brush so we can really see how little it does for me. Okay, I'm just gonna swirl it a bit. And there goes nothing. Like, I guess I see a little bit of a golden reflect, but at the point where I build it to that golden reflect, it's too dark for me, and it looks like I have just bronzy stripes here. So honestly, this was a mess. Like, I think maybe it's just a little bit too dark. I'm very unimpressed with this baked formula, which is such a shame because their other baked stuff is so good, but this highlighter just really missed the mark for me. So now let's talk about eyebrows. I have a lot of eyebrow stuff that I do not like. One thing that I absolutely despise is this Revolution Lemonade Brow. It's like this duo thing. You have like a pencil on one side and you have a brow gel on the other side. So it's like genius, it's multitasking, it's everything I like, right? So the thing with brow products is I very rarely get offended by the formula. I get offended by the shade. So I bought 2 shades of this. I bought the shade Ash Brown and then I bought the shade Medium Brown, which is the one left. Ash Brown literally went to trash. Like, I was so mad, I just threw it out. So I bought this one and I thought, oh wow, look at that. It's a little bit red toned. It may not look like that on camera, but in person, this is literally like a shade for gingers. So I was like, okay, you know what? Fine, I'm gonna order the Ash Brown. Guess what? The Ash Brown was straight up fucking red. I'm just really not a big fan. So I'm just gonna shut up and start to draw my eyebrows with this red ass pencil, I guess. Like, do you see that? It's like literally borderline purple. It's literally like purple. Also, I find it very hard to use. And now we're just gonna try out the gel. The wand picks up a very small amount, so by the time you get to the end of your brow, it's dry. And it also does literally nothing for you. It lifts the brows a little bit, but there's no hold in it. So really, this is absolutely useless for me personally, and given that the shade is so bad, it's like really a trash material for me again. So sadly, this was really not a good product for me, so I'm just gonna finish off the second brow and I'll be right back. And there we go. Those are my beautiful, beautiful purpley red eyebrows that look just horrendous in real life. On the camera, it's a little iffy, but with the pink hair it goes. Well, anyway, thank God the brow gel is so bad because we can try and replace it with another one. So this is the Sample Beauty brow gel. People rave about this, like, incredibly, and it's very affordable. And I mean, there's a use case for it, but what I hate is how messy it is. Just know that I know some people apply this before they make up and they just clean up the residue, but that's just not working for me either, because then I get all the gluey mess around my eyebrows that I just cannot remove with really anything. I'm gonna try to apply it just on my brows today, and it's probably gonna go shit, but this is a very strong hold, strong mess brow gel. And also the packaging is driving me insane. Do you see how I'm just fucking stabbing myself with a square holder? Yeah, I already had complaints about packaging like this, and I still have them. And now what you usually do is you pick up something and you try to push those brows upward. I mean, yeah, you can see it works, right? It works pretty well, actually. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. This looks way better than when I did it before, even though they're quite uneven. My brows look crazy right now because I did a Halloween look with eyebrow block and didn't end up very well, so let's just be happy we have what we have. Okay, this is a little bit of a disaster, but at least it worked a little bit better. But if you look really up close, you can see that it really messed up my foundation around. I still think it looks better than the Laminate brow, so this one got a little redemption going for it. Now, for my eyeshadow primer, p.louise base, clear candidate for this. I don't like it. I just don't think it's a good primer. I don't see any reason for it to be a good primer, and I just do not enjoy it. So we're gonna use it today. I just really think it's an overhyped product, like incredibly. I mean, if you sit on Instagram all day and you do these like crazy cut creases that are super precise and last about 3 seconds on the screen, then sure. But for me, on like daily basis, when I really need the primer to last 1,000 years and I don't have time to like layer 50,000 eyeshadow layers on top of it to make it hold, no, just no. It creases on me, I don't like it, it's very heavy. I like that it's pigmented, but it's also kind of oily in my opinion. Yeah, there's just no way it's gonna make my eyeshadow last a lot better. So I'm gonna pat it in a little bit. That's another thing that's like super annoying. They always apply such a thick layer and then they just keep doing this for like fucking 10 minutes until it disappears, and now I'm like, that's not the way I choose to live my life, sir. Yeah, okay, when it comes to eyeshadow, I don't really have a problem with like a particular brand. Sure, there are some like Essence eyeshadow palettes I don't really enjoy that much, and some Catrice eyeshadow palettes I don't enjoy that much. There's a lot of brands that, you know, once in a while just create something I don't really get along with, and that's fine. But formula wise, I don't really have any complaint. I just have a complaint like color story wise, let's say. This is the Revolution Neon Shadow Palette. The orange version, not a dream. Cute. First of all, what about this is neon? Please tell me, because I don't see it. Let me tell you, nothing. Everything in this is just very underwhelming. If you look at the shimmers, we have 4 shimmers. They're like, yeah, cute, sure, this one kind of cute, line one, okay, sure, this one not bad, this one you wouldn't even really notice it's a shimmer. Then we have the mattes, which are all the same depth. That's what really drives me insane about this palette. You cannot combine anything in there, as I'm gonna show you in a minute. So, and I'm gonna start off with this orangey shade in the middle. Right, like you see, the pigmentation isn't bad, they blend really well, that's fine. It's just the color story, it really pisses me off. I'm gonna take the shimmer now. This is another thing I don't really like. This doesn't even have a name. This is from Revolution, it's like their foil eyeshadow. And just the texture is, it's like a putty. You see that? It's like, it's so gross. I'm just gonna dab it on my lid a little bit, but it feels incredibly gross. And it doesn't go on even, like you can see, just kind of leaves behind some chunks. Yeah, it's just like mud. It's just so weird, and I really don't like the feeling of those. It's very uneven and it's very chunky, and no, I'm just not here for it. Another thing I have is a pencil. This is the Fenty Beauty Fly Pencil Longwear Pencil Eyeliner. I have one shade, which is called Spaghetti Straps, and I was so disappointed by this because I was really expecting something incredible, like incredible color payoff, incredible long-lasting power. No, none of that happened really. The shade is cute though, but that's like the only thing. No, like honestly, for the money, I wouldn't buy it again. I'm just going to smoke out the bottom with a little bit of that orange. Honestly, the palette is not bad, it's just not something I reach for, and it's annoying me really a lot because I cannot do like a proper eye look with just the palette. I hate that it looks good now. It's just really the color story that bothers me the most out of all my palettes, so that's why I chose it today. Okay, I'm just gonna put on a mascara because I don't have one that I hate, and we're gonna continue with the lips. So I literally look flat. I'm gonna highlight my inner corners with this highlighter. Almost like a matte highlight, that's something. I'm not mad at the eyeshadow, I'm just not in love with it. This feels so heavy on the lids, like... So the first product I have for my lips is the Revolution Pro Hydra Matte Liquid Lipstick with hyaluronic acid and peptides, which sounds awesome. This is in the shade Soul. It's a very pale. Let me just put it on first. See? Very pale. So I would survive that it's super pale and it looks really weird on me. I just don't like the formula. It stinks really weird. And it's like oily. It's supposed to be a matte liquid lipstick. I mean, Hydra matte liquid lipstick. But what does that even mean? Like, I would expect it to dry down, and it's not drying down. And it makes my teeth look like yellow, like corn yellow. On top of this non-drying mess, I have this, which is the Ofra lip gloss in the shade Apricot Dream. You know why I hate this one? Because it's so misleading. If you look at the tube, it looks so nice. It's like, ooh, it's so nice and peachy. If you look at it in the swatch, it's like a little bit suspicious because you're like, it's not very peachy. And then you actually put it on. I literally could have just bought a clear gloss for like 1/5 of the price and it would look exactly the same. The Hydra Matte lipstick is like settling into every crack in my lip, and the gloss, I mean, it's not bad, but literally it does the same job as a clear lip gloss. And the last product is the Benefit Professional Super Setter Setting Spray. Why do I hate this? There's a story behind it. Long story short, I thought I really liked it, then I took it to my brother's wedding and I figured that my whole face looks cakey as fuck because of the setting spray. It just does stuff on my face that I do not appreciate. So let's spray this down. Okay, so this is our finished look. I'm not thrilled at all. My face is itchy. So let's start from the beginning, okay? First we use the primer. I still do not like it. And I think it's the shea butter. I think we actually figured it out and that's why. I already have like cracked smile lines and I don't really have any. So that's very annoying. I look dry. I look a little bit separated. It's already making dry patches in the middle of my forehead. Like, what did I do to you? Okay, my under eyes are looking not great. The concealer is actually separating under my eyes already. And it's looking very dry and very crusty. Oh boy, oh boy. No, the powder is making it all just look worse. More dry, you know, just don't chase everything you see everywhere because sometimes it's just not worth it. The iconic London bronzer and the super dewy blush from Revolution. Honestly, very similar situation, these two. Super sheer, not nicely pigmented. You just cannot apply them. There's no way to apply them well. It's just gonna take off everything. It's just not it. I have like a patch missing of everything here. Okay, then we have the Essence highlighter. I love the packaging, but the formula is just not it. And then we have the eye products. The p.louise base, if you use it, if you love it, if you're like that super incredible talented artist that does the crazy cut creases and weird liners with it, more power to ya. For me, no. Too much work, too slippy, too oily, doesn't last well on me. Now for the eyeshadow, I'm gonna repeat it for the 15th time. This is not a bad eyeshadow palette. I'm just very underwhelmed by the color story. This bothers me a lot more. This Revolution foil, it's gross. It still feels sticky on the lid too. That's gross. No, thank you. No, thank you. This is a no from me. The gel does nothing. The pencil, there's just not a shade that wouldn't be either too dark or too red This brow gel kind of saved the day because it toned down the redness in my brows and they hold very well. So I think we have a little teeny tiny redemption over here. I just really hate the packaging. And then we have our lovely lip product. The lipstick is a disaster. I just don't understand the formula. I just don't get it. But it's like settling in cracks of my mouth and it's kind of disappearing, and don't put matte in the name if it's not matte. And the last thing we have is the Ofra lip gloss, which in my opinion is just also an incredible waste of money. Yeah, and the last one is the Professional Supersetter. It just doesn't work for my face. I tried it with different foundations. I still use it on occasion because I do feel like it makes your makeup hold well. I'm like a little bit on the fence still because I liked it at one point and then it ruined my makeup at the wedding, so I was a little bit mad about that, and then it ruined my makeup on different occasions, and I think it's highly dependent on the formula beneath. I needed to work with everything, this one doesn't, so I'm a little bit mad at it. That is it. Those were all the products that don't really work for me, I guess. If you like any of these products, more power to you. I envy you because some of these are really getting on my nerves, and I think not all of these are gonna go back into the drawer after I film this video. Thank you very much for watching. Consider subscribing, and if you want to see more videos where I test out makeup, just check out the playlist. See ya!